Hello to you, my fellow Gooners, and welcome to Arsenal TV. This is my preview for Man City versus Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. UK time, and this game will be broadcasted on Sky Sports. Guys, the Premier League is back, thank God, after 3 whole months. Man, but I'm so glad the Premier League is back now. Now, during this game against Man City, there is a few changes in the Premier League now that's going to happen until the end of this season. One of the things that is now going to be changed is that there's no longer going to be 3 substitutions. You are now going to have 5 substitutions. The second thing that's been changed is that the goal celebrations is now only going to be like fist bumps or anything like that. It's not going to be no like jumping on each other or anything like that no more. And the last but not least thing is that the Premier League games will all be played behind closed doors. That means that there will be no fans at all in the stadiums whatsoever supporting the team. Now, I don't know what sort of impact that's going to have on the players, because as everybody knows, that us fans are the 12th man of any football club. We are the life and death of a football club. So I don't know how the players are going to react to that in that sort of environment, but we just have to see what happens. What do we know about Man City? Well, Man City are currently sitting second on the Premier League table with 18 wins, 3 draws, 7 losses, and they're currently on 57 points. Now, last time out in the Premier League, Man City lost 2-0 against Man United at Old Trafford. But Man City will be looking to bounce back from that defeat, because we all know that when a week where they've lost to a team, they have thrashed the team the week after. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case for Arsenal, that they're going to be on the end of it. City in this game must avoid any sort of defeat to Arsenal, because that if they take a defeat to Arsenal, then it only has to be Liverpool to beat Everton for them to officially become champions. Man City need to avoid a defeat to try and keep the pressure on Liverpool, or what sort of pressure that is, because the gap from first and second place is a massive gap right now. Now, Man City's last 5 Premier League games, they've taken 9 points out of a possible 15. And I'm going to run through those results. So, last time out, as I mentioned, Man United beat Man City 2-0. And obviously Man City lost that away from home. Then the week after that, they won against Leicester 1-0 away from home. Then they won 2-0 against West Ham at home. Then they lost 2-0 against Tottenham away from home. Then they won 1-0 against Sheffield United away from home. Now, in this game, Pep Guardiola will be looking to get all 3 points against his old assistant manager, which is Mikel Arteta. As we know, he was the assistant manager for Man City, and then he jumped ship and came to Arsenal. Now, what do we know about Arsenal? Well, Arsenal are currently sitting 9th in the Premier League table with 9 wins, 13 draws, and 6 losses in the Prem. And we are currently on 40 points. The last Premier League game Arsenal had was against West Ham at home, and Arsenal had a really, really tough win by only a goal to 0. Now, I do believe that in West Ham's case, if they had a better striker up top, I think Arsenal would have lost that game. But luckily, it was VAR that sort of saved Arsenal in the end, courtesy of Alexander Lacazette, because Lacazette came off the bench and he scored the goal. Mesut Ozil got the assist, and that's the player that they thought might have been offside. Now, it went to VAR and it took about 10 minutes to get it sorted. And then what happened after that, they was looking at it to see if Mesut Ozil was offside. Now, personally for me, it didn't really need to go to VAR, because I could see that it wasn't offside. The only 2 players that was offside was Joe Willock and Reece Nelson, but they had no participation in the build-up to the goal, and that's why the goal stood. Now, if Arsenal win against Man City tomorrow, if we win against Man City and we pick up the 3 points, that will put Arsenal 5 points behind Chelsea for that 4th spot in the league. And as we know, Arsenal is really looking to get that Champions League spot at the moment. So really, our Champions League spot actually depends on this game. Now, as we know, Arsenal doesn't have a good record against Man City at all. I believe that in the last 6 meetings, we've lost all 6 games. Arsenal are currently winless in the Premier League against Man City for 5 whole years. Now, the last time Arsenal actually won against Man City in the Premier League at the Etihad is when Arsenal won 2-0, and I believe that was back in 2015. So that was the last time Arsenal actually came away with something. Since Arteta has left Man City has lost 4 games. So it proves what sort of impact Mikel Arteta had during his time. Now, last time out in the Premier League against Man City, Arsenal lost 3-1 at home, and that was on the 3rd of February 2019. But that doesn't mean that Arsenal was going to lose this time around. Now, if there's anyone that knows how Man City plays and knows the players inside out and knows, Pep Guardiola's tactics, it's our man. It's our boss, Mikel Arteta. So, can Mikel Arteta actually break the curse for us to keep losing against Man City? But during this game, it is the teacher versus the student. Is the teacher going to get all 3 points against his student, Mikel Arteta? Let's wait and find out. Guys, I'm now going to get into my predicted lineup and what I would go with for this game. So starting off in goal, I'm going to go with Bernd Leno. Pretty plain and simple choice. Against West Ham, he was my man of the match. He made some critical saves. If it wasn't for Bernd Leno in goal, I can guarantee you we would have lost. But he done what he had to do. So I'm going to go with Bernd Leno. We're going to go to the defensive area, the back 4. First off, at right back, I'm going to go with Hector Bellerin. People may say you could throw Cedric Soares in there because he hasn't officially played the game yet, but I think it's too soon. I would go with Hector Bellerin. I know during the game against Brentford, even though we lost against them in that friendly game, Bellerin actually looked pretty sharp, and I'm hoping he can keep up with that and to take that into this game against Man City, because he has to be on his game, because he'll be coming up against the likes of Raheem Sterling. So he needs to be on his game 110%. So I'm going to go with Hector Bellerin. Playing at left back, I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney. As we know, Tierney has been out injured recently with a dislocated shoulder, but he's back in full training. People would probably say go with Saka there. But no, I'm going to stick with the out-and-out, left back. So I'm actually going to go with Kieran Tierney. We're going to go to the 2 centre-halves. First off, I'm going to go with Pablo Mari. I think Pablo Mari would be key in this game because he is a left footer. And I know he's only played 1 game, and that 2 games, in fact, but only 1 game in the Premier League, and that was against West Ham, and he kept a clean sheet. And I've been impressed with him for what I've seen of him so far. So I'm going to go with Pablo Mari. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with David Luiz. I think David Luiz will be key in this game because where Man City likes to play the ball through the middle, he'll be very, very ideal for this game because David Luiz can play the ball over the top of the midfield. And I know that he's been doing that recently in, the friendly games where he's played the ball over the top. So I think he would be utter key for this game. So, and he's been commanding his area pretty well. So I'm going to go with David Luiz. We're going to go to the midfield pivot. First off, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. I think this would be an ideal game for Granit Xhaka because I don't think the tempo is going to be high intensity like it normally is. I think this is going to be a slow-paced game because obviously there's going to be not really that much of an atmosphere. So he might actually thrive on that. As we know, he's not the quickest of players, but I think he'll be ideal for this. So I'm actually going to go with Granit Xhaka. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with Joe Willock. I think Joe Willock has been quite impressive during the friendly games. He's the one who's really impressed me so far. His final ball has been pretty well. His positioning has been top-notch as well. And I think I'll give him a chance in this game. So I'm going to go with Joe Willock. We're going to go to the attacking area, the 3 that sit in front. First off, out on the right, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. I think this is Nicolas Pepe's time to shine. And I think he needs to start doing it against the top 6 sides. I do think that Nicolas Pepe can do it. So I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. Playing out on that left-hand side, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I've got no doubt in my mind that Aubameyang will score in this game. I think he's been brilliant for us this whole entire season. And I think he'll definitely get the golden boot as well. He's got one more goal than Aguero at the moment. Aguero's got 16 goals. He's got 17. So I think that Aubameyang will be able to get some more goals in this game. So I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Playing in that number 10 role, I'm actually going to go with Dani Ceballos. Maybe a bit of a surprise. The reason why I haven't gone with Mesut Ozil is because I don't think Mesut Ozil is going to turn up in, you know, big games like this, because he never does. So I'm actually going to go with Dani Ceballos. I think what would be key for him is that his creativity where he can still find the pockets, he can still try and get the ball in behind, you know, the opponent's defence. And I think he'll definitely be ideal for this game. So I'm going to go with Dani Ceballos. Playing up front as a leading striker, I'm going to go with Alexander Lacazette. I know Lacazette hasn't had the best of seasons, but I think this breakaway that we've had from the Premier League, I think it might have done him the world of good. He scored the goal. Friendly game. He's been playing really, really well. And yeah, I've got no doubt we need to go fully strong for this, and I think he'll be ideal for this. Now, I know probably Mikel Arteta would favour more of Eddie Nketiah, but no, I'm actually going to go with Alexander Lacazette. So guys, there you have it. That's been my preview. That has been my predicted lineup. Let me know in the comments box as always. Do you agree or do you disagree? What you would keep, what you're changing. Let me know of your predicted score for this game. As I said, I don't think it's going to be a high intensity game, and I don't think it's going to be one of those high scoring games either. My heart is saying we're going to win. My mind is saying we're going to draw. But I'm actually going to go with an Arsenal 2-1. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to go with. Guys, if you are new to the channel, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you are smashing a like on this video as well. Make sure you are leaving your comments below. Guys, until my next video, I will see you a lot soon. I am out of here.